Live from Music City, Nashville, Tennessee. This is your motivational, sensational, inspirational, educational, aspirational, international, keenly awaited, daily created, highly anticipated edition of the afternoon swing trading floor with your humble host, Jeremy Alexander Newsom, with another daily dose of mentally delicious brain food, reminding each of you to love life, live life, and trade it. My buddy Albert says, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Albert. Welcome to the party. It is a terrific Tuesday. Transcendently tremendous. Jill says, hi there. What's going on, girl? Trust you're doing amazing. Albert had an excellent day. Arabia says the best. Yeah, Arabia, you really crushed it today. I'm proud of you. Number one, today, make sure you pull out some profits. Go ahead and reward yourself. JL says he traded like Floyd Mayweather at a spelling bee. Oh, that's a good one. That is a good one. Charles says, it is a terrific Tuesday. How'd you do today, Charles? I hope you crushed it. We're gonna go look at what we traded today, and I took one trade and one trade only today, and I'm quite happy about it. My boy Charles got 0.3 Rs. Hey man, well done. 0.3. I mean, I'll take 0.3 every day, every single day. 0.3 every day, game changing. So let's go look at it. Obviously, we know what happened on the SPY. We know it was a gap and go, and this was the most obvious setup of all time. Right? I mean, there was nothing unobvious about this trade at all. Gap and go above a week and a half worth of candles. In fact, we opened above the high of that bearish candle right there. So the high of that candle was 291.40, and we opened at 291.39. So I mean, we're opening at that high. And if you go in here to any time frame, 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, the 1 minute chart, we trade sideways for arguably 6 minutes before we just went bananas. And we did have a official trade that triggered in on the Dow Jones. So if you went bullish here with a stop there, I mean, that is wonderful. It works great. It traded sideways. Arabia played the E-minis, the futures trade, bullishly. And we're gonna go look at the ES in just a second. I'll talk about that, but that was the run up on the SPY. So I did not play that. However, I did play this. Check this out. Dow Jones, look at that. Whoo! Oh man. Now, in case you're wondering, that is what pure luck looks like. Pure luck. Okay, that is not skill. That is 100% unadulterated luck. Now, if I go to a 3 minute chart, you're gonna all see why I set that trade up that way. So here's the 3 minute charts, and go into where we are now. Type in a 7 if you know exactly why I set the trade up the way I set it up. I mean, you have to. You see that candle, you have to take the trade. And I didn't want to, in case you're wondering, even now, even after 11 years, you're still gonna go, you know what, I'm gonna lose in this trade. There's no way I should take this trade. I'm gonna be wrong. Your brain says that all the time because your brain is supposed to protect you. Its goal is to keep you from doing dumb things. And there's nothing that seems more stupid than trading the market and pressing buttons and making money. It's just not obvious to us, right? Because every single person here was raised to believe that you have to work hard for money. But we're not working hard for money, are we? We're pressing buttons. So your brain's like, this isn't normal. This should not be happening. Does not compute. And when you take a trade like that, your brain's always going to freak out. So anyway, just letting you all know, just burn that pattern into your brain, because that was it. Bearish 3 minute candle, said, okay, entry, stop loss, and it triggered on a retest. So it broke out minute 4, 5, something like that. Broke out minute 4, skipped me because we had the stop limit, and then it just pulled back into that limit fill, and then it just took off. Now, I exited on this candle right there. Could have held for a lot more, and it would have been an absolutely Adonis trade. And the reason I did get out really quickly is simply because I did have such a good entry, and I had a really nice day yesterday. So yesterday, 2.6 Rs on LK, and then that was 2.78 Rs on that particular trade. So over the last 2 days, up 5 Rs, ladies and gentlemen, on 2 trades. And that's when I was like, yeah, I'm cool just to lock that in, just to be done. That was it. And Brad went on to take a trade on Tesla. I did actually have the trade set up on Tesla. I canceled it because it did not fill. But that is a beautiful, beautiful trade. And that's incredible, incredible stuff. So anyway, remember what day was it? Thursday? It was either Thursday or Friday when I asked, do you guys want to see me get all these losses back and then some? Do you guys remember me saying that? I got it all back and then some. That's the way it works. You're going to have losing trades. It's going to happen. Embrace the suck. Get ready for it. When they occur, learn from it, put in some practice, put in some work, do something uncomfortable. If you got to go to the gym for 24 hours straight with no sleep and just work until you almost puke multiple times, then go do that, right? Whatever it requires you to do something you've never done before, to break through some barriers, go do that, because that's the only way we grow. Is you're going to have to do something different. If you want to make more money trading, you're going to have to do things you've never done before. That doesn't necessarily mean just stock market related, by the way. Type in 1 if you know what I'm saying. That point came across. Yeah, you're going to have to do things you've never done. It's just that simple. All right, anyway, great trade on Dow Jones and beautiful, beautiful trade. I'm over 10 Rs for the month. And we still got some incredible swing trades coming our way. Let's go look at the E-minis, and then we're going to go look at the Qs. So the E-minis, this is the futures contract for the S&P 500. And pretty much I'll be looking at buying a dip right below all these wicks. So 2, 9, 18, 25, something like that. If we get down there, we might not, but if we do. And here's the 5-minute chart. And again, when this thing came out of the gate, I mean, this candle came in right there. Obviously a very, very strong bullish candle. Took out the high of that. That was the first 5 minutes of market open. And you had to know to be bullish at that point. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful retest and tweezer bottom right here at 9:25. That's an hour after market open. And good for one more thrust higher. And obviously that was the spot to sell and lock in a profit. So anyway, we'll see if the E-minis actually pull back that far or not. They probably won't, but I will be on a jet plane tonight, so we'll try it. So it'll be something like that by, ooh, that's too big of a stop. 4 points or 5 points, something like this. 5-point stop. It can be one contract, but it looks something like that. And again, we will see. I will wait for it to open just to see if it gaps down, but it probably won't trade that far unless it's late at night. So most likely what's going to happen is when I get to the airport, I'll kind of check it, update it, see if I can bring it down or what I need to do and go from there. Anyway, that's the E-minis. And then here's the Qs. And the Qs, also a brilliant gap right above all these moving out, you know, above all these wicks, above all these candles. And any way you slice it, it gave you the perfect setup. Look at this 3-minute chart. I mean, easiest money ever. Happy Panda. So remember, I did not take that trade, but that is the squinty-eyed, big-nose, smiley face setup. Print it out, put it on your computer screen. If you're not making money trading, print that out, study that pattern every single day because it happens all the time. It doesn't work all the time, but it always sets up. And when it does work, it feels real good. That was the 3-minute. You had it on the 5-minute chart as well. There's your 5-minute candle. Bearish candle, high wave. I think you've all heard me talk about how great that is. But again, it's just the gap. The gap was awesome. And what's amazing is this is the perfect scenario of when you're going to make lots of money. When you get really good gaps in the broader market. I did not know that we would get this gap today, but we got a good gap yesterday and we got a good gap today, so it makes sense for me to make money. On days that the broader market doesn't move that well, it makes sense that we lose money. That's just the way this process works. It's okay. Totally fine. So the Qs, really nice gap on the Qs and pretty blissful stuff. So let's go dive into some tech stocks. It is Tech Giant Tuesday after all. Booking Holdings, BKNG. My buddy Joel is a big fan of high wave candles, and here is a high wave candle. Booking Holdings is the old price line, trading at $1,800 a share somehow. Here's your long-term moving averages, and you could not be more sideways. So realistically, if you're looking at playing this bad boy, I would be watching for a breakout in either direction. I don't know what direction it's going to go. I would assume bullish. If you're playing it, you're welcome to keep an eye on that time frame. The weekly chart was a beautifully blissful bounce off of the 200 simple on a weekly chart. Now the crazy part is I know that it's never bounced off of that price before, and there was no way that you could have possibly known to be a buyer right there. But all I can say is on BKNG, nice little support zone, relatively decent trend, and hashtag buy the dip. So yeah, that's BKNG, high wave and decision candle. Play the breakout how you see fit. JetBlue. So JetBlue, still hanging out. Just hanging out. We are, the reason I'm not in this trade or not in it yet is because of the weekly chart. You do have some long-term moving averages kind of right in front of our face. So 1994, if there was a little bit more room between where we are and them, I'd probably get in. But I do like the gap that occurred the other day. Earnings is around the corner. It's like a month away. I would just really like a little bit more of a pullback. So this actually does look pretty good for a pullback, because if we can get in a little bit lower, like right about here, and set our stop loss right about here, I could dig that, and that would make the risk reward a lot better. So what I'm gonna do is set that up and then come back and look at that Thursday, Transportation Thursday. And if between now and then we can lock in a profit on some other swing trades, which I think we will, then we might trade that. And if we don't get a chance to lock in any other gains on any other trades, then we will we'll move on. So that's fine. Okay, next on the list, DBX, Dropbox. And DBX, again, this is a cute one. Let me go upload this into the, come over here. Upload this over here. Pulling this up. I'm just going to go add it. Triangle on Dropbox. So this is the last post that I did, was June 14th, 4 days ago. And it's pulling it up slowly. Okay. Here is the daily chart on this cookie. She's still coiling. So again, if you're keeping an eye on Dropbox, feel free to. Thanks, ma'am. And I'm not going to play this one at all. It's easy for me to look at stuff and go, yeah, I'm just not going to play that, because you can't be in everything. And I do love the pattern. I love all of it. I'm just in too much right now as far as swing trades go. I need to mitigate my risk. And I don't fully believe in Dropbox as a long-term investment. Otherwise, I actually would pick up a few shares here if I liked Dropbox personally. Again, ladies and gentlemen, don't let me unliking or liking something influence your decision. Let me rephrase that. If I like something, you're welcome to allow that to influence your decision. But if I don't like it, you can still like that stock or product or company. Just because I don't like something. I'm really weird in the things I like anyway. And most of you guys already know that. So Dropbox, that's all I got. Coiling, keep an eye out for a breakout. It's coming one direction or another. All right, Acacia Communications. More, boy, oh boy, it traps people. Oh, so this is the retest, and this is also a gorgeous Morningstar reversal. So what's really interesting on Acacia is I think I have one way to play this one, and one way only. Is probably the only long-term call you can get is a January call for $50. And if you did that play, it would look something like this. So January 2020, $50 call for 575 limit buy. And you'd probably go with absolute zero. If you don't want to have a stop on it at all and your full investment is your risk tolerance, that's fine. If you want to stop for it, just make it, you know, a little bit of a smaller one, but that's probably how I would play Acacia. The only way I would take that, and again, I'm not going to personally take this one because I don't really know that much about what Acacia does. I haven't really poured into the financials that much. So let me ask some of my people, what are your thoughts on ACIA? ACIA. Looking interesting down here. Again, so I'm not going to personally take this trade. Doesn't mean that you can't. If you like Acacia, you know what it does, you're interested in playing it, any and all of those things. That is a beautiful Morningstar reversal, pretty much a 10 out of 10. And I mean, that is right at a 10 out of 10. And this could be a long-term perspective. This could also be a place where you kind of tiptoe into some shares if you want. And as far as those shares are concerned, a little bit of a trend line looks something like dues is a possibility as well. So there's a few factors why this could go lower, but I'd probably opt for no stop on those calls because I wouldn't want to get stopped out and just go with an absolute zero perspective and then see if it can go higher. You could also go with a $45 or $40 call. It's just going to be more expensive for January. And that's the longest option that this one has on Acacia. Okay, EA Sports. And EA Sports, still sideways. Still sideways. Had a little bit of a pop today, and that's about it. It made a little bit of a higher move, like most of the market did at some point, and then that was it. So ACIA, brilliantly sideways still. Next on the list is Advanced Micro Devices. And shout outs to my good buddy Paul, who played this one, and Clive, and I think maybe Huberto and Julian. I don't remember all the people who played AMD. I did not play this one at all, but a lot of people did. And what was brilliant on AMD is yesterday you had that shaved bottom candle. Shaved bottom candle. So that means that everyone who was in bearish was in. They were at the forefront of selling. They sold all the way up until the close of the market. So this gap up today trapped some people. So let me show you how Paul played it for a really good gain. And pretty simple. Type in a 4 if you bet you already know how he played AMD. So the good news is Paul and I actually had our first coaching session just yesterday, AKA last night, and came up with a good plan for him, something to focus on, some rules, a specific strategy, all that kind of good stuff. And my boy nailed it. Entry right there, stop right there. That was it. I know it's repetitive, isn't it? It's like, come on, man. There's no way it's that easy. I mean, and the answer is it's not. It's not that easy, right? It's not that easy. It's the fact that you still have to pull the trigger in the moment. That's the hard part. That's the part that still is a challenge for a lot of people. And that setup was straight up cash money. Again, I did not play that. I made $0 off of AMD, but it was a beautiful move and gorgeous setup. So again, feel free to print this one out. Look at this gap on whatever time frame you want. 30-minute time frame. Look at it. Look at all these people traps. 30-minute hourly chart. Look at this hourly chart. Oh, how many people do you think went bearish right here? Thinking, oh, this is the breakdown. Woo, we're going lower. Yeah, some people went bearish right there. So they got trapped this morning on the gap up. And for some reason, JL did not buy calls on AMD when it gapped up today. Don't know what that was, but I'm just giving you a hard time, JL. It was a good gap. And again, great job mitigating your risk. But JL said he was in full Tootsie Roll mode today and just didn't take advantage of that. But hey, man, you lost really small on your puts, and that's always the right way to play it. We never know when events like this are going to happen. What I can say on AMD from this point is this is a Morningstar reversal. And it could easily trade sideways for a day or two, but if it breaks above here, we should be good to go. That looks pretty nice. Scott McKay says we need a Tootsie Roll emoji. So that way we can have a dank Tootsie Roll. I think that's a great idea, Scott. We'll get on that. And anyway, so that is a Morningstar reversal, and you know, it is a decent trend. There are a lot of people in on AMD bullish, and long term, I think that's the right way to go. Just let it consolidate for a while. But if I had to make the argument, and the argument can easily be made, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm pretty sure I have that drawn somewhere. In fact, I'm like 96.3% sure I do. Let's just go check it out, because we talked about that. I mean, back over here in October, September, we were 100% confident that was a wave 3. I know a lot of people who made some good money on AMD. Let's see here. Well, yeah, that was spot on. Let's go back and check this out for a second. AMD buy zone. How would you have liked to have been in the trading room in April 2018? AMD buy zone back at $10 a share. Yeah. Whoo, look at this. Just double bottomed right out the gates. And it did double bottom nicely too on a smaller time frame. That was a beautiful mount. And this is the wave 4 that I was talking about, was right here. June, I think I should have done it on a little bit of a bigger time frame, but that was the most recent wave count that I did. Let me scroll down here. Yep. Look at that count. Oh, brilliant. 1, 2, 3, there was the 4, and look at that wave 5. So nice. I really don't have any of the recent, wow, I don't have a recent wave count AMD. What a loser. All right, well, I guess I'll just have to wait that one out. There's no point in making it occur now. So anyway, AMD looks good, and be bullish long term. Buy dips. Next on the list is BlackBerry. No idea how they're still in business, but they are. And on the daily chart, BlackBerry does look relatively viable, although I only play BlackBerry bearish. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to be entering a wave 5 soon on BlackBerry. I don't know how they're going to do on earnings. I mean, what earnings? It's not like they actually make revenue. They do. I'm just being dumb. But looking at it overall, BlackBerry, yeah, good volume, nice wave 3, obvious wave 4, earnings around the corner. So play that how you see fit. If I zoom into an hourly chart, I could easily find a buying opportunity on BlackBerry. I'd probably have a few orders set up on BlackBerry, like a little bit if it broke out here. I'd have some if it pulled back there, and I'd have a lot more if it pulled back there, the stop loss down here somewhere. But I very rarely, if it ever, go bullish on BlackBerry. And here's the long-term moving average on the daily chart, and you're getting punched right in the kneecap on BlackBerry. So give us some time, be patient, wait it out, and let's just see what we get on BlackBerry. No trade for me on this one presently. CubeSmart. CUBE and CubeSmart, SREV. Okay, I'm getting a stock request for tomorrow, Wednesday, SREV. What is CubeSmart? Albert says ACIA Communications develops, manufactures, and sells high-speed coherent optical interconnect products in the United States, China, Germany, Thailand, and international. Okay. Okay, so CubeSmart. Is that a new high? Oh yes, it sure is. Wow. This stock is about to start moving. Great trends. My wave count on CubeSmart would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And inside that count, I would count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then have a little bit of a correction on the pullback, A, B, C to there, and then go higher from there. Okay. Wave count on Cube. Looks like she's going higher. Obvious trend. It ain't bearish. That's pretty much it. All right, CUBE, real life trading. Throw that out there. Albert says, Cubic Corporation provides various integrated solutions worldwide. Its solutions enhance the situational understanding for transportation, defense, and training customers, as well as command control, communications, computers, intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. That's cool. I can easily see how that company is going higher. That's an interesting industry, especially for the current political sphere. I like that. CubeSmart. Thanks, ma'am. Kelvin says, Cube pays dividend on June 28th, 2019. Nice, Kelvin. Okay, so that could be, again, maybe a small dip that could come in, but eventually this one does go longer term, higher. Makes sense that it does pay. It looks like it's been paying dividends for a while, the entire time, and I like it. Okay. Also, put Cube on your list. For research. Done. Next on the list I got is Pivotal, PVTL, good old Pivotal. Absolutely went gangbusters today. Hashtag sarcasm. Here's the daily chart, and the daily chart on this one, it is Tuesday, and we did make a new high yesterday by a penny. So we have the exact same high today and yesterday. So here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the stop by a penny or two, just a very small stop movement, more or less just to make me feel happy. And then I'm going to give it a new thing that it has to do. Okay, so today is that day. All right. So by end of day Friday, we need to take out this high. By end of day Friday needs to break above the tweezer top. Because what's happening is the 10 EMA is coming down, but it's still relatively far away. It's an entire R unit away if pivotal starts moving. So again, I know this was an aggressive fade and it's just not doing anything. The ironic part is the longer we hold on this trade, probably the better it works. The 50 EMA on the hourly is coming down, so I'm going to move the stop by 9 whole pennies so that I lose about 0.9 Rs on this trade, 0.95 Rs if I'm wrong, and that'll just make me a little bit happier. Increasing stop on PVTL. Now we'll come back to it on Friday and see what it's doing. Increasing stop on PVTL swing trade. Great trade, Adam. Wow. Adam snagging 2 Rs on Netflix. Is that Netflix? Yes, it is. What a weird thing to be. I mean, how in the world would you go bullish above that 200, off that 200 simple, that high wave candle at that support? Crazy, huh? We'll throw Netflix. I think Netflix on the list for today. It is. So Adam, I'll make sure that we look over that for you. So anyway, Pivotal Software, that's the current plan on that one. Next on the list is ZUO. And guess what we're about to do on ZUO? Who would like to guess what we're about to do on ZUO? Because you guys already know. Albert says out, and Hunglu says raise the target. Charles says raise the target. Those are both accurate. High today was 16. Our target was 16.12. So that means I'm going to increase the target and increase the stop. New target, because we got so close. And trust me, everything in my bones does not want to do this, but that probably means it's a good thing. So I'm just going to increase it a little bit, not a lot. And I will increase the stop. Put the stop here. And so far, I'll keep holding this trade. New stop loss. So this really can be a pretty decent trade if it actually ends up hitting it. Increasing stop and target on ZUO swing trade. I've had 5 people ask me about this one today, and the funniest part is both of them were like, this trade's taking forever. And I'm like, bro, we've been in this trade about 2 weeks. And we got the exact bottom on this setup just about. I mean, how much, we got triggered in the very next day, almost the exact low of the day. And I could have bought, could have sold, could have bought again, and could have still been in. So, I mean, we could have, that's the cool part about swing trading. If you got the feeling, if you got it, we could have taken this trade twice and gotten over 2 Rs on it already, but I'm just holding on to it and doing my best. Updated plan from here. Okay, and I don't really know what all these charts mean. All right. So that's pretty much it. It's doing its thing, and I put that in Slack, right? Okay. So increasing stop loss and increasing target. Now, if you're wondering why am I putting it at 1644, does everyone understand that's an entirely arbitrary number? And I'm just making that up. I'm just dragging it. I'm just going to go in and just update that target. Everyone realizes that, right? That's not magical. Second, it's very close to what would be the 20 EMA, and that could be a little bit of resistance, and it very well might be, but what I'll do is if it keeps getting closer and closer to this target without hitting it, I'll keep increasing the stop and maybe peeling off a small position and increasing the target higher and higher and higher. So that is ZUO, and yeah, cool deal. Okay, so Stitch Fix, this one is actually working out pretty decent, I think. right? I think this is going solid. So Stitch Fix, the ironic part is I'm not up on all of our swing trades. Otherwise, I would have closed them everything today, but I'm not up on all of them. There are some that we're still down on, although I'm up on the majority of them. Stitch Fix is moving. Pull it over here. So what I'm gonna do on Stitch Fix is take the stop, move it up a little bit, and find the target. And so there's the new stop loss on Stitch Fix. New stop loss, put that to the top. And the 2R target on Stitch Fix is 32.79. And I think we're, wow, that does seem kind of forever away. Okay, that's where we will exit everything. 32.79 if we hit it. It seems like forever away on the chart. Target 2R to exit all. Is that right? Just, it seems massively far away. 32.79. All right. Update on trade. You are winning. All right, Ron. Target is in. Okay, I'll come in here. Update. Increasing stop and placing 2R target. So just a small little stop move from 26.82, increasing stop on SFIX and making a target. There is a large chance that I'll be out of all of these swing trades before the end of the month, FYI. Hashtag pay those bills. Okay. Stitch Fix, done. GoDaddy, bow, bow, bow. GoDaddy, GDDY. I mean, well, yeah, you all know I like GoDaddy long term. This looks a little head and shoulderish. Boom, boom, some kind of boom. But if I had to kind of get, if I had to squint, this pattern looks similar to this pattern. I don't know if it's going to form or not, but I don't have any particular trade in GoDaddy other than if you're just buying some shares to own them longer term, I would just own some small positions right here and that's it. So 10, 20, 30 shares, just have a piece of the pie and let it just kind of do its thing. I mean, the time to buy it was down here as it was just kind of breaking up and slowly grinding higher. That's why I was very, very bullish on GoDaddy. Big pullback, definite lower high. Probably could chop around a little bit, would like it to go to 66. No short-term trade yet, but I have done numerous put sales on GoDaddy and well in the past. And thanks to Tesla moving up bullish, I think I might be able to do some more put sales. I just have to figure out how high I want to place them. And 57.50, I don't know if I want to go all the way out till January, but at 57.50, if I sold 3 contracts, would be almost an R between now and January 2020. So 57, that'd be about $1.60. $1.60 limit. It's really not bad. It's not a bad place to put them. I just don't know if I want to hold up that much leverage until now, until January or not, but I'll think through it. It's not bad. Otherwise, that's all I have on GoDaddy. Here is Upwork, UPWK, and Upwork. So we talked about it yesterday. It did not close above here, and this is the price that you're going to want Upwork to close above to be bullish. 1588, close above that price, and it's looking good. I am working with a gentleman on Upwork right now to get my audiobook, The Money Grows on Trees audio version, uploaded to Audible for all of those who asked for that. So I'm working with someone right now. And I don't know how long that's going to take, but it shouldn't take too much longer for that process to get figured out. I like Upwork. Long term, going to be a very interesting thing. And I am keeping an eye on both Fiverr and Upwork. We did break below its IPO low down here. And we could continue to go lower, sure. But if we start to show some strength, this could be a bottom. And this could be one where I could buy 10 or 20 shares and just go, okay, cool, I'm glad I'm in. Let's see what it does from here. And then, you know, add to it as time goes on or whatever. I guess it'll depend on how much more I use Upwork. All right, that's pretty much it. Apple, does anyone here own any share of Apple? By any chance, does anyone? Sharon says, are you bullish on Apple long term? Ha ha ha. Is anyone in on Apple, or is anyone making money on Apple? Diego says, what is Apple? I don't, it's this company that does like communicational synergy, I think. They do communicational cloud computing. So Iberto is in some leap calls on Apple. My boy Greg K texted me today. He just closed on a house. Congratulations, Greg. Let me text him really quick. I'll delete your 175 put sale from my Apple chart. Congrats. Okay, so good job, Greg, on the put sale. Scott McKay obviously has a share or two with a $200 covered call, and he will not be upset if he gets called away there. And Sharon says, I heard today that Apple will be building a store on Broadway in Nashville. Oh, geez. Man. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm trying to decide. Probably won't be a bad thing for Apple or Nashville. So I can't really see any negatives. Anyway, I'm all for it. It'll make the downtown Nashville a little bit cleaner. I love this gap. Let's go look at this gap intraday today. Iberto says he's going to hold that option until it hurts. Where will it start hurting, in your opinion? What price? Look at this 3-minute hammer on Apple. Good grief. Unbelievable. Look at that inside candle right here. Jeepers creepers. Man, look at that setup. Boy, oh boy. What a move. What a move. Anyway, yeah, I'm bullish on Apple long term, and I would actually prefer it to consolidate a little bit before going massively higher. This is what I would like it to do. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I would just really like it to do this and then one of these guys. I mean, that would be great. We will see if it does that. I don't know. It might not, but that would just be wonderful. So when it gets up into this 210-ish area, I will be implementing another collar if it gets up there. Based on today's gap, it should. Now, this gap easily could retest. So we could have a Gnarlysville bearish day tomorrow. We could. I'm not saying we will, I'm just saying we theoretically could. 2-3 days of bearishness, everyone gets panicked and sells, and then we just rally again. I mean, always plan worst case scenario. Just when you think you're the leader of the free world with the stock market is when the market's like, yeah, how about that opinion? I'm going to change that. There was a lot of people feeling like they were on fire today. So just something to consider. You know, always have your worst case scenario planned out for. This is a retest gap. And Robert says, Apple is going higher. Place was packed. And the guy who helps me asked about Beyond Meat. So, yeah, I agree. I mean, long-term, Apple, without question, is going to go up. I think this is the #1 most owned real-life trading stock through all of you, I think. Greg says, yep, I forgot to tell you I covered that put sale. Right now I'm in Apple. Covered calls 2/10 July. Noted. Kill it. So Robert Falco and Greg K are both in July covered calls. Oh, Diego says the next step is for Apple to get into their crypto. Woo, how crazy would that be? I kind of hope they don't, but why not? Digital currency for everybody. It'll just make Bitcoin go up. I'm all for it. All right, next on the list is the Netflix. And the Netflix today was straight up saucy. So at this point, we were talking about these exact setups, the 275, 270 bull put spread on Netflix when it was trading down into the support. And now that you have some bullish candles coming in, this could be the time for that July bear call spread. 410, 415. So there is some serious money in that one now as well. So if you want to hop on this boat with me, 410, 415, you're looking at 240 by at least 2. So you could probably get 45-cent limit on that one. And, you know, this one was 45 cents as well. 45 cents. So get 80 cents, and that would be a condor over earnings. And my thought on that one is, you know, if it gaps up or something, then maybe we unravel if we need to. But I personally would like to see Netflix trade down a little bit more. I don't know if it will. It probably won't. I mean, with the whole market doing its thing, most likely won't. But I just would love this gap to get filled. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. Maybe I'm holding my breath too long on Netflix for that to actually happen. But it is stuck in between the long-term moving averages. Adam Bell, congratulations. I don't know why you would have been bullish off of the 200 simple moving average. We've never had a one white soldier bounce off of that price before to only go higher the next few days. So, I mean, it's just an entirely rare event that is totally unique and is insanely rare. However, could it double bottom and continue higher? Absolutely. I mean, it's a really good buying spot on Netflix. Buy the dip. More bullish than bearish for sure. But as far as the bear trend is concerned, this particular bear call spread, I mean, it could become an issue. We'll just have to see what it does on earnings. Because my thought is if it gaps up really, really big on earnings, people probably will sell it down. They'll probably fade it. Unless, of course, it gaps like right here, and then I would probably unravel the spread and win on the bull put. So not a faint of heart. This would be 410, 415. 410, 415. Okay. We've been talking about Netflix for a lot. Great trade, Adam. Well done. Amazon was straight up splendid today. Really good gap. So the thing is, on Amazon, you had a gap above this candle, this candle, this candle, and this candle's high. And then it just traded into a previous resistance, 1917. I've had this line on the screen for a very long time. It is a strong resistance level that I found from somewhere, and it worked perfect today. So nice little upper shadow. Here's the 5-minute chart, and you would have gotten a nice move early in the morning. I mean, it depends on how you played it, of course. I didn't play this one today, but I could have. Entry there, stop there. I would have exited most, if not everything there. And I definitely would have gotten all of it right there, for sure. And then, of course, it did break down with the rest of the market because it was just a little bit too high. We double topped right there. We retested, and that's where I would have gotten bearish. If I would have played Amazon, it would have been bearish. Entry there, stop there. I would have gotten out of everything there for 1R. Is how I would have faded Amazon today. Even in hindsight, I think that's a very obvious trade. Really easy. 5-minute looks good. 15-minute chart. Is it below the 10 EMA? Oh, yeah. That's an easy breakdown. Oh, that's so good. All right. So what now from Amazon? I mean, nice little candle. If it gaps down below the low of yesterday, again, kind of like Apple, I could see it fill the gap a little bit and hang out here for a while. We need to catch up with the moving averages. This is a nice resistance, but this is a gorgeous hammer, and we will just kind of keep bouncing and making new highs on Amazon. Just might pull back the next 2 or 3 days or rest or something like that, but really good gap today. Google, GOOGL, aka Alphabet. This also had a nice little gap up today, and it's now above the 10 and the 20 EMA. Here's the 5-minute chart on Google, and this one's a little bit harder to trade than a lot of stocks were today, but I mean, it gapped up, immediately traded down, and then bounced, retested, and just made a little bit of a higher move. You could have made money on it if you played Google. It wouldn't have been a whole heap ton of cash. However, the hourly chart, you know, the good news is you're actually above all the moving averages now. So with this bull put spread, which it's still open, 1080, 1060 for July. I went from being deep in the money to out of the money, and I'll just kind of keep waiting it. I think with this gap up, I can almost draw the candle patterns that are going to be coming up next on Google. I just can feel it almost. I think we're going to do something like this, probably gap up tomorrow. Another little bit of a small bearish candle right there. Then we gap down into here, bullish candle, bullish candle, bullish candle. Feel free to screenshot this. Small inside candle, a little bit of a bearish candle, and then a nice, and we start slowly peeling higher. That makes loads of sense on Google. Probably is what happens. So I'm just going to kind of continue to be patient on that. And as you all know, I do have a pretty gnarly bet that this gap will fill by the end of September. Plus your weekly moving averages. Here is the 100 simple on a weekly. We are back above, working on that 100. 1098.81 is that support. So that will be the dip buying locale. 310 to Yuma, take some YUMC. And Yum China, Cruise City. Unfortunately, did not get the other piece of my 40, but that's why I love this play, is because you're not missing out, right? Not missing out. I have, you know, this is enough of a trade that I can go and buy Taco Bell for the rest of the year if I really want to, although I don't eat Taco Bell. Beautiful little trade, even if it's just 20 shares. Again, you don't have to have a massive position to make money. Really good pullback and should be really good. So we will see. This 40 position I don't think is going to fill, and it'll probably just kind of keep running. This is a great gap. Type in a 7 if you think I'm going to put this on the list for tomorrow morning. Go ahead and throw in those 7s because I am. Wednesday morning, I'll be in New York City day trading, which is where I'm on fire. And if we gap up to here, I'm going to just absolutely destroy this thing, or at least watch it. And if I lose, I will do my best to lose small. I'll do my best to look at that one relatively quickly, Pete. So that's that one. Here's Stone Cold Steve Austin, STNE. And the last time we really looked at this hardcore was over here. Tim and Cheryl Steele were watching Stone Cold to go higher. And my analysis was, I do agree. I think there's some bullish edge. let it close above the 100, which it has done today, and then buy the dip, which it has not done yet. So the dip is coming on Stone Coal Limited. Most likely, get something like this. Feel free to buy it. It is on the verge of breaking out. So anyone who wants to play it, be ready. I do think this gap will fill, and the trend looks good. It's heating up. I have no position on Stone Co. Limited, but if you want to have a position, I think you could set up some limit buys to, pick some in. Or Robert says this is the Brazilian square. So if that means anything to each and every one of you here, we all know how much money we made on Square together. This is the Brazilian version of that. Let me ask my boy Adriano. Hey man, by the way, are you playing Stone Co. Limited, ticker symbol STNE? It's supposed to be the Brazilian square. Tell me all about it. Do you use it? Do you know anyone who uses it? What's your thoughts on it? Much love. That's my Brazilian contact. Contacts all over the world. Enriching lives. That's the mission of real life trading. 100 simple moving average, buy the dip. I like it long term based on some of the charting. WLL, Whiting Petroleum. Whew. Throwing in a little bit of a bullish candle. You got to like that Morningstar reversal pattern. And I'm going to watch this to gap up above that high tomorrow. We do have our toes in the water on some bullish energy position like SLB. We will look at that tomorrow. But just in case we gap up, it looks nice on a day trade. This is the weekly chart. And I think anyone with a computer that looks at charting can see that we are at a support level. And if you are buying down here, WLL does make sense on a technical chart. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Buy low, sell high. You can feel free to accumulate. You don't need a large position in this one because it's pretty volatile. I mean, you can trade up to 50, so 17. So depends on how much you know about that company or what you like about it or don't like as far as how much you want to snag a position in that one. DocuSign filled the gap, and now you have a little bit of a bullish candle, high wave today. High wave bullish candle on DocuSign. Feel free to bracket trade this bad boy because this is a 1, 2, 3, could be a 4, 5 wave pattern. Or if we trade sideways for 2 or 3 days and then break out, crush it. We did have a bearish setup on DocuSign that never triggered, or at least I should say a bearish play that we were looking at. And those of you, Diego specifically, was like, Newsom, this thing's gonna go bullish. And I was like, I think you're right, Diego. So Diego, hope you're nailing it. Good gap fill, very good earnings, really good gap down, and it had a great pop Friday. So from here, DocuSign most likely will go higher and continue to trap some folks because, again, a lot of people were shorting it based on the technicals. This head and shoulders pattern right here, this volume had quote unquote confirmed. And I'm just gonna let you all know right now, if we take out the high of this candle, we're just gonna keep going. Remember, here's your IPO low break right there. I do know how DocuSign uses money. I do like them much better than Dropbox, and I do think this company is ripe for a buyout at some point, but I do like it bullish longer term more than Dropbox. XBI, biotech ETF, looking fresh, at least yesterday. Yesterday had that one white soldier candles from the heavens. One white soldier from the Elysian fields of profit. So this gap up today was a no-brainer. Talked about it yesterday afternoon in the Slack channel. So if anyone played that bullish, I did not. Would have been a nice R&a-half. So what I'll look at on this biotech ETF is probably a pullback and a dip buying opportunity, but I do like that volume. I do like the candle. We are at the 100 simple. So I get that. Just keep your eyes on this one and let's begin to watch it, because some volumes and some gaps are looking Dr. McFrothyton. Okay, 2 left. 3M. Ladies and gentlemen, the gap of the day brought to you by 3M. So good in so many ways. Type in a 4 if you remember me saying last week to watch this one every day, because at some point it will gap bullish. Today was that day. I wanted it to happen over here, but it broke down, everyone shorted, and then it gapped up today. Amazing gap up. I did not play it. It's okay. Can't be in everything. I actually asked in the morning room, hey guys, is there any bearish candles gapping up today? And I found 3M too late. I would have absolutely dominated that gap up. My entry would have been here. My stop would have been there. All by myself. Today could have been like a 14-hour day. Oh, 3M was beautiful. Man, that is what dreams are made out of right there. Gorgeous gap, and that is a gap and go. Finally coming back a little bit. So I'm keep an eye on 3M, a possible weekly options newsletter candidate as well. And last but not least is Boeing, ticker symbol BA. Pete said Boeing exploded on Paris Air Show, and it gapped up today. Looks like the news doesn't care. Boeing gapping up, nice gap, good volume, close above the neckline. Buy the dip on Boeing, it looks bullish. It pulled back into the 100 simple on a weekly chart. That was the buying spot anyway. And yeah, man, looks good. Buy the dip, nice move, up 5% on the day with a really very clean gap. Oh my gosh. Right above that high. Some good stuff. I'll put Boeing also on the list for Thursday, which Blake Anderson will be rocking out your Thursday afternoon room, just because I will be in full Jeremy Newsom mode, going strong all week long in online and in-person presentations. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you want to look at tomorrow? I will be handing the microphone off to Blake Anderson. So what stocks would you all like him to check out tomorrow? OLED, CHK, SREV, XBI, FedEx, iRobot, Beyond Meat, Tesla, The Trade Desk, Can Do, Will Do, nice list. Looks good, team. All right, I will see you all later. And until next time, love life, and trade it. Bye.